Believe it or not, Jack Nicholson, Hollywood's master of mystery and magnetism, still commands a fortune that rivals today's biggest stars. Despite stepping back from the spotlight, his net worth is estimated at a jaw-dropping $590 million. How? It's not just the iconic roles in The Shining, Batman, or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Nicholson's genius lies in his behind-the-scenes deals, like his legendary profit-sharing contract for Batman, 1989, plus decades of smart real estate investments and a museum-worthy art collection. He's proof that true legends don't just act, they build empires. You won't believe how much Clint Eastwood is worth today. Eastwood has enjoyed a career that has spanned many years, beginning with his television work on Rawhide and then continuing with his success as a film star in westerns, the Dirty Harry series, and other projects. He has participated in a number of ventures over the years that have provided him with royalties and profit sharing in addition to his upfront salary. That is made easier by being the owner of a production company, Malpaso. Streaming, syndication, and licensing are all ways in which even films and projects that are older continue to generate revenue. In a large number of evaluations, the amount of money generated annually from various sources is estimated to be somewhere between $5 and $10 million US. There are a number of properties in California that are worth a great deal of money, including those in Carmel by the Sea, Bel Air, and other areas. According to certain estimates, the value of his real estate assets is in the tens of millions of dollars. Some suggest that his present property portfolio alone is worth $30 to $35 million based on recent values. His earnings have been supplemented by legal victories in litigation against those who have used his image without authorization, endorsements or commercial advertisements that are seen from time to time. Similar to many other individuals who are wealthy, the development of his net worth is due in part to the increasing value of his real estate, any investments, and his film library over time. Believe me, this is a fortune Al Pacino is sitting on. Over the course of several decades, Pacino has made a profit from a vast number of films. The Godfather film series, Scarface, Scent of a Woman, and other films. These positions offered hefty salaries, and in certain cases, they even included residuals or profit shares. In addition, he made money from directing, producing, theater, and television. He once possessed savings and assets that were worth as much as $50 million. But as a result of overspending, inadequate accounting practices, and an extravagant lifestyle, he has lost a significant portion of that. There were a number of costs that were exorbitant, including a large number of automobiles and mobile phones, substantial landscaping expenses for a home that he never occupied or even made use of. The most successful product was produced by an incompetent accounting manager who was later discovered to be guilty of financial misconduct. As a result of this, Pacino claims that he has lost nearly all his $50 million. Pacino continues to receive residuals from films in which he has previously starred, particularly those that were major hits, even after losing a significant amount of money. These films continue to earn cash from licensing and streaming. He continues to work, accepting roles, even those that he does not particularly enjoy, because the money is needed, he claims. Although the precise values are not as obvious and differ depending on the source, he owns real estate and other assets. Robert De Niro's net worth will leave you speechless. Robert has appeared in more than 100 productions, including films such as Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, Goodfellas Part 2, The Irishman, Joker, and many others. Since the 1990s, he has earned millions of dollars for each picture, frequently accepting back-end deals or profit-sharing arrangements. Killers of the Flower Moon, which was released in 2023, was one of the most recent movies in which Robert was featured. Together with chef Nobu Matsuhisa and financier Mir Tepper, he established Nobu Restaurants and Hotels as a co-founder. There are more than 50 Nobu restaurants located around the world. The hospitality industry is a business that generates billions of dollars in revenue. De Niro's holdings are a significant contributor to his fortune. It is probable that they are worth tens of millions of dollars, and it is possible that they are worth even more than that. He is one of the owners of the Greenwich Hotel in New York City. Robert makes investments in production firms, for example, Tribeca Enterprises, which is responsible for organizing the Tribeca Film Festival, and real estate. Grace Hightower, who was formerly married to him, attempted to obtain 50% of his fortune. De Niro spends approximately $200,000 on a monthly basis, which includes the cost of luxury travel and crew, according to the legal conflict that was brought to light. She was granted access to an apartment worth $6 million and monthly payments, but most of the assets were still in the possession of De Niro. His lawyer stated that his income from the hospitality industry was impacted by the pandemic, which led to a decrease in cash flow. However, his long-term assets continued to be robust. Morgan Freeman's bank account? You'd never guess this number. The majority of sources estimate that Morgan's net worth is somewhere in the neighborhood of $250 million in United States currency. Depending on how one chooses to count investments, real estate, and other assets, some reports indicate that the amount might be as high as $300 million. Pay for acting in movies, television shows, voiceovers, residuals, narration, and commercials. Morgan possesses real estate interest in both properties and land, which includes a sprawling ranch located in the state of Mississippi. Additionally, he has a financial stake in production firms, and he may have investments in other ventures as well. Myrna Colley Lee and Freeman divorced in the year 2010. As part of the settlement, he was required to pay an amount that ranged from $100 million to $200 million. That considerable reduction in net worth resulted in a lower net worth than what would have otherwise been the case. A significant portion of net worth is comprised of assets that are not liquid, such as real estate, ownership in movies or rights, royalties, and other similar items. These cannot be withdrawn or used like cash right away. The term net worth and the term bank account balance should not be used interchangeably, as there can be a significant disparity between the two. For instance, an individual with a net worth of $250 million could have only a small portion of that sum in their checking or savings account, or they could have the whole of it readily available for withdrawal or usage as cash. Denzel Washington is worth this much. Seriously. It is generally believed that his net worth is around $300 million. There are a number of sources that identify real estate holdings and other assets that, when combined, make up a considerable portion of that total. Major motion pictures such as The Equalizer, American Gangster, and others, in which actors are said to earn tens of millions of dollars per film, his salary is estimated to be higher in years when he is working on several acting projects. According to some sources, he makes between $60 and $80 million at such times. Denzel does more than just act. A significant number of his movies include him working as a producer or even as a director, which increases his revenues through profit sharing, back-end arrangements, and so on. Denzel is the owner of several properties that are worth a great deal of money, including a condominium located in Century City, properties in Manhattan on Central Park West, and a big estate in Beverly Park. Over the course of time, these homes have experienced a considerable increase in value. Deals with famous Hollywood names, such as endorsements and appearance fees, are included in the category of other income. The amount Harrison Ford has in his account is unreal. Ford first worked as a carpenter before he began his career as an actor. He landed modest roles in television shows and low-budget films. During this time, his earnings were at their lowest. His first role in the Star Wars franchise was in the film A New Hope, 1977, in which he portrayed as Han Solo. He was paid a salary of between $10,000 and $100,000 for that role. For his work on The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, he was awarded royalties and a wage raise at a later date. According to reports, Ford received an initial payment of $10 to $12 million in addition to bonuses for his work on Indiana Jones 5. Ford demanded a salary of $15 to $25 million for each project he worked on for significant blockbusters such as The Fugitive, 1993, and Air Force One, 1997. Ford was among the highest-paid performers in Hollywood by the time the late 1990s came around. For the film Star Wars: The Force Awakens, 2015, he reprised his role as Han Solo, and he was paid a base salary of $15 million, but the bonuses he received based on how well the film did at the box office brought his total earnings for that one film to more than $25 million. Harrison has a number of assets that are worth a great deal of money, including a mansion in Los Angeles, Brentwood, that is assessed at $12 million, a ranch in Wyoming that is worth millions of dollars, and a penthouse in New York City that was sold for $15 million. He has a real estate portfolio with an estimated worth of between $80 and $100 million. Ford holds a license to fly aircraft and possesses a number of privately owned planes. He receives cash from franchisees through endorsements and licensing fees. Sylvester Stallone's net worth in 2025 will shock you. Sylvester got his breakthrough role in the film Rocky, 1976. The film was a massive success, grossing over $225 million worldwide and winning 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Stallone's portrayal of the underdog boxer catapulted him to international fame. The Rambo franchise solidified Stallone's status as a global action star, with the first film, First Blood, 1982, earning $125 million worldwide. In 2010, Stallone launched The Expendables, an ensemble action film featuring veteran stars. The series grossed over $800 million globally, showcasing his ability to produce and direct successful films. He has leveraged his fame into lucrative endorsement deals, including a partnership with CoverGirl Cosmetics. He owns several businesses, such as the Fat Stallone Burger chain in Washington and a football team named the New York Angels, and has launched his vodka brand, Poon Wonder Stallone. Stallone has expanded into the fashion industry with a clothing line, Sylvester Stallone Seduction, and a perfume line, With Love from Sylvester, both of which have contributed to his wealth. In December 2024, he purchased an 11,644 square foot mansion in East Hampton for $24.95 million in an all-cash deal, primarily for his daughters. The property features 8 bedrooms, a pool, and a screening room, and is a mile from the Atlantic Ocean. He has also relisted his Hidden Hills estate for $21.3 million, a property he originally purchased for $18 million, featuring a 10,000 square foot home with equestrian facilities. As of 2025, Stallone's estimated net worth is approximately $400 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. This is exactly how much money Michael Douglas has. It is anticipated that the net worth of Michael Douglas will be approximately $300 million in 2025. This fortune is the result of decades of success in the entertainment industry as an actor, producer, and occasional director. He began his career as an actor in the late 1970s, appearing in minor roles and making guest appearances on television shows. He put in a lot of effort to make a name for himself, and he encountered the usual challenges that young actors endure. He achieved considerable fame for his appearance in the television series The Streets of San Francisco, which aired from 1972 to 1977. This was his first major role in the industry. Wall Street, which was released in 1987, and Basic Instinct, which was released in 1992, are the only 2 of the classic films in which Douglas played a starring role. He was honored with an Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance as Gordon Gekko in the film Wall Street. In addition to his work as an actor, Douglas is an outstanding producer, having won 2 Academy Awards for his work on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975. A substantial portion of his income comes from the credits he receives for his work as a producer. Douglas's roles and notoriety have resulted in a consistent stream of cash from movies and projects, despite the fact that he does not participate in as many sponsorships as some other famous people. His fortune is bolstered by the fact that he is the owner of a number of properties, including extravagant houses in New York City and Beverly Hills, California. Sean Connery left behind this fortune. You'll be shocked. Most sources show Sean's net worth when he died in 2020 was about $350 million. This included his earnings from his long acting career, particularly as James Bond, investments, real estate, his art collection, and other assets. To understand the magnitude of his estate, it helps to look at his journey from early life struggles to global stardom. Connery was born in Edinburgh in 1930. He grew up in fairly working-class circumstances. He left school young and did jobs like working as a milkman and in docks, etc. These early years had instability and very modest income. His first paying acting roles didn't come until his early 20s. So there was a period when he was trying, auditioning, etc., without big pay. He also had rejections, risks of being typecast, and challenges of working his way up. Standard for many actors, but important given how big he got later. Acting career is rarely a straight line. Being cast as the first official James Bond in Dr. No, 1962, was huge. The Bond franchise gave him large salaries, major fame, and licensing and residual income over many years. That role opened doors. Over the many Bond films, he negotiated better pay and important brand recognition that allowed him to demand more in later work. Connery didn't just stay with Bond. He took other roles in big films, The Untouchables, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, The Hunt for Red October, etc. He did investments, real estate, and art collections. Jean's ownership of luxury properties, like his French Riviera villa, Villa Roquefleury, added significantly to his assets. How rich is Meryl Streep? The number will blow your mind. Meryl's net worth is estimated to be approximately $100 million as of the year 2025. She was born in Summit, New Jersey in the year 1949. She received her education in drama from Vassar College in the year 1971 and Yale School of Drama in the mid-1970s. A great deal of hard work, auditions, and stage work, among other things, were necessary in order to land those early parts. Deer Hunter, which was produced in 1978 and was among the first of Streep's big pictures, it was the movie that provided her with her breakthrough role and allowed her to establish herself as a serious actress. When contrasted with what is paid today, her salary at the time was not much. Following that, Sophie's Choice was released, and all of these films, together with Kramer vs. Kramer, contributed to an increase in her creative profile and bargaining power. She started making millions of dollars for her work on big-budget movies in the 1980s and 1990s. It did not achieve instant blockbuster status, but it is quietly gained in popularity. In recent years, she has commanded a salary of $15 to $20 million or more for major studio or prestige films, depending on the role and back end. Additionally, she has played characters in television shows, such as limited series and miniseries, which are known to be well compensated. There is also the possibility of receiving royalties or residuals from movies that are still being broadcast or streamed. In the middle of the 1990s, Streep purchased the townhouse in Tribeca for approximately $2.175 million before eventually selling it for almost $9.1 million. As of 2025, Meryl's net worth is estimated to be around $100 million. You'll be shocked by Leonardo DiCaprio's net worth. For Titanic, 1997, he received a $2.5 million upfront payment as well as 1.8% of the gross, which resulted in an additional $40 million in earnings for him due to the fact that Titanic was an enormous success. He has played a variety of parts that have earned him tens of millions of dollars per film through a combination of basic compensation and profit shares. DiCaprio possesses a real estate portfolio of considerable value, which is estimated to be worth more than $100 million. Homes in Malibu, the Hollywood Hills, and New York City are among the assets of particular note. He also owns a private island in Belize, which he plans to transform into a sustainable resort called Blackador Cay. He makes investments in sustainable businesses, plant-based cuisine, such as Beyond Meat, vegan leather, real estate that is environmentally friendly, and other ventures. These ventures are not simply side projects. They make a significant contribution to his overall fortune. The endorsements that he receives and the films that his firm, Appian Way, produces are generally of great value and are carefully selected. Brad Pitt's bank account balance? It's astronomical. Brad has come a long way from the days when he was paid a tiny amount of money for his acting services. For example, in 1991, he was paid $6,000 for his role in Thelma and Louise. Nowadays, he commands tens of millions of dollars for each blockbuster picture that he appears in. He negotiated for reduced base salary for a number of films in exchange for a percentage of the profits, back end, which turned out to be a very profitable decision in some situations. He was paid $30 million for Wolves 2024 and $35 million most recently for F1 2025. In the year 2001, Pitt was one of the founding members of Plan B. He sold a 60% ownership in Plan B to Media One, a media firm based in France, in October of 2022. At that time, Plan B was valued at $300 million. According to reports, this agreement entailed both cash and shares. Pitt continues to own a substantial share of both ownership and profits. He is the owner of a large number of properties that are worth a lot of money, including the Los Feliz property in Los Angeles, which was sold for $39 million in the year 2023. Among his flagship real estate assets is Chateau Miraval, a wine vineyard located in the south of France. Properties in Los Angeles and other locations, a villa in Mallorca, and residences in California. While some assets have been sold, others have been maintained. Pitt has collaborated with brands such as Chanel No. 5, Tag Heuer, and DeLonghi on projects that involve endorsement. Tom Cruise has this much money, believe it or not. It is common for Cruise to receive not only an upfront salary for his actor roles, but also back-end income, which can include producer credits and part of the box office gross. To illustrate, Top Gun Maverick provided him with a very little upfront payment, according to sources somewhere between $12 and $14 million, in addition to a portion of the revenues. His revenues could increase many times over if he makes this type of agreement. His films have generated more than $10 billion in revenue from throughout the world. Certain franchises, such as Mission Impossible and Top Gun, have the ability to attract a high number of viewers every decade. Cruise has been the owner of a number of properties that are worth a lot of money, including a big ranch in Telluride, Colorado, which was sold for $39.5 million in the year 2021. He had a mansion in Beverly Hills that he purchased in 2007 for $30.5 million. He eventually sold it for more than $38 million. Real estate holdings such as penthouses in New York and Florida, residences in Hollywood Hills, estates in close proximity to the United Kingdom, and so on. Private aircraft, high-end automobiles, and opulent mansions all consume a significant portion of one's wealth and also indicate the high base from which one operates. He has a reputation for spending a significant amount of money on privacy, isolation, and security. It is common for residences to be located in quiet or private areas, and they frequently offer amenities, such as guest houses. This is the wild amount Keanu Reeves has in the bank. The most important franchises that provide Keanu with a substantial amount of income. The Matrix trilogy is an important one, especially when it comes to agreements on profit sharing or the back end. The incomes of the employees of the John Wick franchise have been steadily increasing as the firm has grown, and the salaries of their staff members have been getting bigger and bigger as a result. Arch Motorcycle Company, which is a manufacturer of luxury motorbikes that are customized to order, which was founded by him. Not only does this serve as a source of cash, but it also broadens the foundation of assets that he holds. Independent commercial ventures, such as small presses like X-Artist Books, are among the many commercial ventures. Since the beginning of the 2000s, Keanu has owned a mansion in Beverly Hills. He has been living there ever since. In addition, he has amassed a collection of vehicles that includes both motorbikes and automobiles. He owns a private foundation, has distributed grants, and so on, so his reputation as a generous individual is well-deserved. Based on what some stories claim, he gave out a substantial percentage of his income to the special effects department, with the majority of those funds coming from his work on The Matrix. Jennifer Aniston's net worth is way bigger than you think. During Friends, Jennifer's pay escalated over the seasons. For example, in early seasons, it was around $22,500 to $40,000 per episode, rising to $1 million per episode in seasons 9 and 10. Her base salary from Friends, just from acting, not counting back-end bonuses, came to around $90 million for the show's run. Beyond that, Friends continued to generate revenue via syndication, streaming, and reruns. Aniston reportedly earns $10 to $20 million annually just from Friends royalties and residuals. Aniston is paid very high per episode for The Morning Show on Apple TV+. Some reporters say $1.25 million per episode. Others say up to $2 million per episode because she is also an executive producer with back-end participation in certain projects. Her earnings from such shows are higher than just acting fees. Although TV, especially Friends, and streaming do a lot of the heavy lifting now, her film work over the years has also added significantly. Some reports suggest she commands $7 to $12 million or more for certain movie roles. Aniston has made substantial income from endorsements like beauty, lifestyle, etc., also from investments and business ventures. For example, her involvement in production via Echo Films. She owns high-value properties, Bel Air, Montecito. These properties not only constitute large asset value, but also, depending on location, tend to appreciate. Some luxury real estate purchases are reported to be in the tens of millions of dollars. Emma Watson's net worth made headlines again. Multiple reputable sources estimate Emma Watson's net worth at approximately $85 million as of 2025. Some estimates put it slightly higher, around $90 million, reflecting steady growth and diversified income streams. Emma earned an estimated $70 million from the Harry Potter franchise. She commanded fees of around $4 million for Order of the Phoenix and $30 million for the final two Deathly Hallows films combined. Beauty and the Beast earned her $15 million, base salary and participation, from a film that grossed over $1.2 billion worldwide. Emma collaborated with Lancôme, Burberry, and Calvin Klein, with estimated earnings of $5 to $10 million per year from endorsements. In 2023, she launched Renee's, a sustainable gin brand co-founded with her brother, certified carbon neutral and rapidly expanding globally. As of January 2025, Renee's has raised over $6 million in investment. Emma served on the board of Kering 2020 to 2023 and continues to advocate for sustainable fashion. She invested in Hertility, reproductive health startup, and Fabric Nano, sustainable material technology, demonstrating thoughtful diversification. Emma owns properties including a $3.3 million home in London and a ski chalet in Mirabel, France, around $1.2 million. Emma is known for a measured financial lifestyle, avoiding extravagant displays despite significant earnings. The recent €5 million funding injection for Renee's has reignited interest in Watson's venture. Her shift to business and activism, paired with sustained brand power, keeps her financial story compelling. Emma's combination of high earnings, academic pursuits, and advocacy creates a unique and inspiring narrative. Julia Roberts' net worth makes the headlines. Julia's net worth is approximately $250 million, attributing her wealth to enduring brand partnerships, selective film projects, and producing credits. She has earned blockbuster-level paychecks, $20 million for Erin Brockovich, $25 million for Mona Lisa's Smile, and substantial earnings from other hits like Ocean's 11 and Eat, Pray, Love. She has been a long-standing global ambassador for Lancôme, earning an estimated $10 million per year, with overall endorsement value possibly exceeding $50 million over time. Julia was co-founder of Red Om Films and also benefits from back-end participation in her own and partnered projects. Ongoing residuals from classics like Pretty Woman and Erin Brockovich further supplement her income. Roberts' luxury property holdings are expansive. She purchased the San Francisco Edwardian home in 2020 for $8.3 million and sold it in 2023 for $11.25 million. Formerly owned a house in Maui, a Malibu Bluff estate, $9.5 million, a beach access home, $3.9 million, and a New Mexico ranch, $2.5 million. In 2023, she earned a significant $25 million for her role in Netflix's Leave the World Behind. The actual home featured in Mystic Pizza, her breakout film, is being sold for $749,000, stirring nostalgia among fans and indie film buffs. A portrait shows Roberts with her 3 grown children, Hazel, Phineas, and Henry, reflecting her private, family-centered life. She celebrated her 23rd wedding anniversary with husband Danny Moder by sharing a heartfelt camping photo, signaling her grounded personal values even as a Hollywood icon. Robert Downey Jr.'s investments made him even richer. As of the year 2025, it is estimated that Robert's net worth is somewhere around $300 million. Underscoring his financial success in Hollywood is the fact that his total profits from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, alone, which include Iron Man, Avengers, and other related appearances, vary from $500 million to $600 million. The production firm known as Team Downey was established in 2010 by Robert Downey and his wife Susan Downey. Team Downey has been responsible for the production of films such as The Judge, as well as television material such as Perry Mason on HBO and Sweet Tooth on Netflix. Because of this endeavor, he has gone from being merely an actor to becoming a media entrepreneur who not only earns paychecks, but also has creative control and equity in the company. The Footprint Coalition was established by Downey in 2019, and it combines narrative, philanthropy, and investments in environmentally responsible technology. Footprint Coalition Ventures is a rolling venture fund that is hosted on AngelList and generates funds on a quarterly basis from accredited investors in order to promote sustainability entrepreneurs. He transformed the effort into Footprint Coalition Ventures in the year 2021. Motif Foodworks is one of the significant businesses that he has included in his investor portfolio. With perhaps $10 million of his own money, he planted the fund. With a focus on sustainability, Downey invests in technology firms such as 1Password, which specializes in cybersecurity, Forethought, which uses artificial intelligence for customer service, Kindred Motorworks, which specializes in electric restored vintage cars, and Ethos, which specializes in insurtech. The financial power of Angelina Jolie, what she's really worth. In her prime, Angelina commanded $20 million per film, becoming one of Hollywood's highest-paid actresses. Some of her early roles, like Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, brought in millions, often between $7 million and $20 million per project. Between 2001 and 2011 alone, her film salaries totaled over $120 million. Jolie secured lucrative deals with luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, $10 million for an ad campaign, Guerlain perfume ambassadorship, high multi-million-dollar figures, and some additional partnerships with St. John, Cartier, and Shiseido further added to her income. Angelina founded her production company, Jolie Pass Productions, producing and directing films like Unbroken, By the Sea, and First They Killed My Father, major contributions to her creative legacy and earnings. Her continued involvement in high-profile projects lends both prestige and financial benefit. Some of Angelina's notable properties include the Los Feliz Mansion, former Cecil B. DeMille estate, $24.5 million, Chateau Miraval, French winery estate, valued at around $60 million, later sold as part of the divorce settlement. Other holdings, a Long Island estate, $55 million, a villa in Cambodia, New York apartments, and properties in New Orleans and Malibu. In the settlement finalized in January 2025, Jolie received $80 million, $64 million from the sale of the Miraval winery stake, and $11.5 million from selling a Winston Churchill painting. These assets significantly bolstered her net worth. While not major direct income sources, her humanitarian work shapes her public image and long-term influence, created the Maddox Jolie Pitt Foundation and the Jolie Pitt Foundation, and funded schools. Margot Robbie's net worth soars after Barbie's success. In 2023, payday from Barbie, Margot was initially paid $12.5 million for portraying and producing Barbie, making her the highest-paid actress that year. Her total earnings from film, along with the back-end deals and bonuses tied to the film's box office success, over $1.4 billion worldwide, she reportedly earned up to $50 million from Barbie. This was the turning point in her career. One film nearly doubled her prior wealth in a single pay cycle. In 2025, Parade estimates Robbie's net worth around $60 million, noting a $20 million increase since 2023, largely due to her Barbie windfall. Some sources value her net worth closer to $75 million, factoring in production income, endorsements, and real estate. Her wealth clearly reflects the impact of her Barbie success plus savvy career diversification. Other revenue streams fueling growth includes co-founding Lucky Chap Entertainment in 2014. Robbie's production company has produced Tanya and Barbie. Lucky Chap Entertainment has significantly boosted her earnings, with industry estimates attributing $15 to $20 million of her net worth to the company's profits. Harley Quinn films, Suicide Squad, Birds or Prey, Robbie earned an estimated $10 to $15 million across these roles. Robbie's brand ambassador roles include Calvin Klein, Nissan, bringing in multi-million-dollar annual revenues, and $1 to $2 million for Calvin Klein. Zendaya's net worth skyrockets after Emmy wins. Zendaya rose to fame starring in Shake It Up, 2010 to 13, and Casey Undercover, 2015 to 2018, building both a fan base and steady income from acting, residuals, and early endorsements. Her estimated net worth by 2023 is about $22 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth, thanks to acting, endorsements, Lancome, Louis Vuitton, etc., and real estate holdings. Zendaya's powerhouse role as Rue earned her 2 Primetime Emmys, making her the youngest 2-time acting winner. By season 3, she renegotiated her HBO deal to $1 million per episode, coupled with producing credits that brought in substantial back-end profit. The Spider-Man franchise earned her significant bonuses, $10 million for No Way Home. The Dune franchise earned $300,000 for Dune 2021 and around $2 million for Dune Part 2 2024. In Challengers 2024, Zendaya served as both lead actress and executive producer, earning approximately $10 million. Brand ambassadorships like Lancome, Valentino, Bulgari, Glacio Smartwater, and Louis Vuitton each deal bringing in multi-million-dollar earnings. She maintains exclusivity by carefully choosing endorsements and limiting volume, which amplifies her market value. Zendaya bought a $1.4 million home in Northridge, California, 2017, and in 2020, she upgraded to a $4 million Encino home. Some of her other investments are in sustainable startups and fashion-related ventures that are contributing to her diversified income stream. In 2025, her total net worth is estimated to be around $30 million by multiple reliable sources. Dwayne Johnson's net worth leaves Hollywood speechless. 1996 marks the beginning of Dwayne's wrestling career, and he makes his debut in WWE, which was once known as WWF, under the ring name Rocky Maivia. He later rebranded himself as The Rock, becoming a charismatic and trash-talking fan favorite. After becoming a WWE champion 8 times, he was instrumental in bringing about the Attitude Era. His wealth was built on a foundation of sales of items and pay-per-view events that were extremely popular. Initial earnings from WWE were projected to be between $5 and $10 million. In 2001, Dwayne made his debut in Hollywood with The Mummy Returns. Subsequently, in 2002, he was cast in The Scorpion King, which reportedly netted him $5.5 million, setting a new record for a first-time lead. Through his participation in a number of action films, such as Walking Tall, Doom, and Gridiron Gang, he steadily established himself as a bankable actor. He established himself as a versatile and dependable action hero who appealed to a wide range of audiences, including families. In 2010, it was reported that Dwayne had a net worth of between $30 and $50 million. Dwayne joins the franchise in Fast 5, 2011, considerably boosting the attractiveness of the film at box offices across the world. Together with his ex-wife and business partner, Danny Garcia, he established Stephen Buck's Productions in 2012. Later, Dwayne went on to become a prominent content producer, creating films such as Ballers, Jumanji, and Red Notice. Between $20 and $25 million for every picture, in addition to back-end deals, he was one of the highest-paid actors in the world in 2015. Films released during this time period had global box office receipts of more than $4.6 billion, and their annual earnings were above $80 to $100 million. Dwayne co-founded Terramana Tequila, which quickly became one of the fastest-growing celebrity spirit brands, selling more than 600,000 cases annually by the year 2023, and the worth will reach $3.5 billion. Ashton Kutcher's net worth proves he's a startup genius. Ashton rose to fame in the early 2000s with That 70s Show and Punk'd. By the mid-2000s, his acting career was well established, but he sought opportunities beyond Hollywood. His early interest in technology and the startup ecosystem set the foundation for his future wealth. Ashton partnered with Guy Oseary and billionaire Ron Burkle to launch A-Grade Investments. He pooled $30 million from their own funds to invest in early-stage tech startups, and his aim is to support disruptive, scalable, and mobile-first companies. Ashton invested in Uber when the company was valued at under $5 million. Another early bet on Airbnb, which later became a $100 billion plus giant. By 2013, A-Grade had reportedly turned $30 million into $200 million plus dollars. Forbes covered that in 2013, Ashton Tech's greatest venture capitalist was the highest-selling Forbes issue that year. Kutcher launched Sound Ventures, a second fund, this time attracting institutional investors. Ashton shifted from celebrity-fueled funding to formal VC practices. His Sound Ventures raised over $243 million for AI-focused investments. Ashton had exposure to FTX, the now-collapsed crypto exchange. However, losses from this investment were minimized with a more successful portfolio. He invested in cutting-edge companies like Hugging Face, a leading AI firm valued at $4.5 billion, OpenAI competitors and ecosystem players. This shift kept Kutcher relevant in modern VC beyond the 2010s tech boom. Ashton demonstrated the diversified nature of his startup bets. In 2025, his estimated net worth is $200 million, conservative estimates. Majority of his wealth now stems from venture capital, startup exits, and private equity, not acting. He was respected among Silicon Valley VCs for his due diligence and founder-first approach. Beyoncé's net worth is making headlines in 2025. In 1997, Beyoncé's early music earnings began with revenue from album sales, touring, and endorsements. She released Dangerously in Love, 2003, for which she won a Grammy and went multi-platinum. By 2005, she's already a global solo superstar. Beyoncé had starred in films like Dreamgirls, Obsessed, and Cadillac Records. She co-founded House of Darion with her mother. Beyoncé married Jay-Z in 2008. They formed one of the most powerful business duos in entertainment. They began making joint investments and co-tours on the run. They shifted to management in Parkwood Entertainment, 2010, and Beyoncé left her father as manager and launched her own company. She gained full control of creative and business. Parkwood oversees her music, tours, films, and partnerships. Beyoncé dropped Beyoncé Without Warning on iTunes and set a new industry trend. She was the first artist to generate major buzz through direct-to-fan digital drops. In 2023, the Renaissance World Tour 2023 grossed over $580 million globally. Beyoncé's estimated income was $100 to $150 million. Some of her revenue was from Spotify, Apple Music, and exclusive content deals. She owns a significant portion of her music catalog and keeps the majority of profits. Beyoncé continues to license her songs for films, ads, and shows. As of mid-2025, multiple reports place Beyoncé's net worth at between $850 million and $1 billion. Reese Witherspoon's production company boosted her net worth. Reese founded Type A Films, named after her childhood nickname referencing her ambitious personality. It marked her early efforts to take control behind the camera and create women-led stories. Some of her notable projects are Legally Blonde 2. Type A Films merged with producer Bruna Papandreou's Make Movies to form Pacific Standard. She has major breakthrough projects like Gone Girl, 2014, Wild 2014, which earned Reese an Oscar nomination. These critical and commercial successes proved her potential as a producer and storyteller. Reese Witherspoon and Seth Rodsky co-founded Hello Sunshine with a mission to tell female-centered stories across film, TV, and digital media. She became a brand herself, backed by her growing fan base, and Reese's Book Club launched in 2016. Her content strategy is to adapt popular books into prestige TV and film projects, drive engagement through the book club, then develop shows with a built-in audience. Her notable productions include Big Little Lies, HBO, Emmy-winning Critical Success, and The Morning Show, Apple TV+, for which Reese earned $1 million plus per episode, and Little Fires Everywhere, Hulu. These successes elevated Hello Sunshine as a serious player in Hollywood and boosted Reese's creative reputation. In 2021, a majority stake in Hello Sunshine was sold to Candle Media, a media firm backed by Blackstone, for a valuation of $900 million. Reese retained an 18% stake and a board seat. According to reports, she personally made around $120 million after taxes from the sale. This transaction catapulted her from a successful actress to a self-made business mogul. Reese continued to executively produce high-profile projects for Hello Sunshine and extended her Reese's Book Club, now with millions of followers, into merchandise and screen deals. She produced Where the Crawdads Sing, 2022, Daisy Jones and the Six, 2023, an upcoming Netflix and Amazon Prime series based on book club picks. Will Smith's net worth makes the headlines. Will Smith's fortune is at $350 million, noting his consistent annual earnings of $40 million, with peak years reaching up to $80 million. His massive paydays from films like King Richard and Emancipation are highlighted. Will's net worth consistently falls between $350 and $375 million, with most reputable sources leaning toward the $350 million mark. Major earnings from projects like King Richard, $60 million, including bonuses, and Emancipation, $35 million. Typically pulls in $40 million annually and sometimes up to $80 million in high-output years. As co-founder of Westbrook Incorporated, he earns from content creation, brand deals, and digital media. It generates significant revenue, $119,000 to $179,000 per post, from his massive online reach and brand partnerships. Will holds valuable properties, such as a $42 million Calabasas mansion and others in Hawaii and Hidden Hills, with total real estate holdings estimated around $100 million or more. He owns high-end vehicles valued at approximately $1.5 million, including brands like Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Maybach, and more. His films have grossed upwards of $9 billion plus worldwide, reinforcing his long-term commercial viability. In a 2024 interview, Smith downplayed the importance of his $350 million net worth, saying he doesn't even know the exact figure, and shared that after age 50, his focus shifted from accumulating wealth to giving back. He emphasized that material possessions don't bring happiness. Chris Bosh is now one of the top-earning former NBA stars. Over his 13 to 14-year NBA career, Bosh earned over $240 million in salaries, beginning with the Toronto Raptors and culminating with lucrative contracts in Miami. Specifically, he received $52.1 million in deferred payments from the Miami Heat, paid out across 120 installments until November 2022, ensuring steady post-retirement income. As of 2025, Chris's net worth is consistently estimated at $110 million. This places him in the upper tier of former NBA stars in terms of wealth. Bosh earned approximately $3 million annually in endorsement deals at his peak. His partnership included a signature apparel line with Nike, CB4 branding, and custom Hyperdunk shoes. Other brand collaborations include Wilson and a lifestyle tie collection labeled Mr. Nice Tie, a health partnership with Janssen for Xarelto following his own health journey. An enthusiast for tech and innovation, Bosh became the dean of the Drone Racing League Academy, a youth STEM initiative. He invested in startups like VSN Mobile, specializing in 360-degree imaging technology. Chris also explored lifestyle and consumer ventures like partnering with Dogfish Head Miami to create a draft beer named Bosch Blonde in 2022. He founded the Chris Bosch Foundation in 2004 to support youth in academics and athletics, particularly in Toronto and Dallas. He has made various media appearances, voiced animated characters, and co-produced music. Selena Gomez's net worth story. In 2007, Selena landed a breakthrough role as Alex Russo in Wizards of Waverly Place. She earned approximately $30,000 per episode, becoming one of Disney's top young stars. Selena signed with Hollywood Records, a Disney-owned label, and released music with her band Selena Gomez and The Scene. She starred in Disney movies like Princess Protection Program and Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie. By 2012, she had earned millions through TV, music, merchandise, and tours. In 2013, Selena released her debut solo album, Stars Dance, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. She continued with hit albums, Revival, 2015, and singles like Come and Get It. She acted in feature films, Spring Breakers, Monte Carlo, and voiced in the Hotel Transylvania franchise. Selena began executive producing, most notably on Netflix's 13 Reasons Why, and got brand deals like Adidas, NEO, Coca-Cola, and Puma, multi-million-dollar contracts. Her estimated net worth by 2019, $60 to $75 million. Selena publicly battled lupus, underwent a kidney transplant in 2017, and discussed mental health struggles. These personal challenges shaped her public image and business values, especially her focus on wellness and authenticity. In September 2020, she launched Rare Beauty, a cosmetics brand with a mission to promote self-acceptance and mental health. Rare Beauty became a runaway success, with sales exceeding $370 million by 2023 and evaluations soaring to $1.2 to $2 billion within 3 years. By 2025, Selena is now CEO and founder of a billion-dollar brand, Rare Beauty, award-winning actress, singer, and producer. George Clooney's net worth makes the headlines. Clooney commands up to $20 million per film, with additional earnings from back-end profit participation. Early fame came from ER, while blockbuster films like Ocean's 11, Gravity, and Up in the Air fueled his compensation. As a producer-director via Smokehouse Pictures, his roles in films like Argo and Good Night and Good Luck added further income. Co-founded by George in 2013, Casamigos was sold to Diageo in 2017 for up to $1 billion. His share likely netted him around $150 to $223 million after taxes, a major boost to his wealth. He was a long-term ambassador for Nespresso, earning an estimated $40 million from the campaign. George had additional deals with brands like Omega and Martini Vermouth that contributed further millions. Villa Orleandra, Lake Como, is now valued at $100 million. Other prime properties include a Studio City mansion, LA, a Berkshire estate in the UK, a New York townhouse, and a Cabo San Lucas estate. His Broadway debut in 2025 with Good Night and Good Luck broke box office records, grossing over $4 million in a single week, establishing it as the highest-grossing non-musical ever. George co-founded the Clooney Foundation for Justice with Amal Clooney, enhancing his public image and platforms for influence. Recognition includes multiple Academy Awards, Golden Globes, and Lifetime Achievement honors. You won't believe how rich Johnny Depp still is. Pirates of the Caribbean franchise earned him a base salary of $20 million per film, plus back-end deals totaling $40 million or more. Alice in Wonderland, 2010, despite a modest base salary, Johnny earned $55 million in back-end earnings. Other notable payouts include $15 million for Rum Diary, $7.5 million for Rango, $18 million for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, $20 million for The Tourist, and $16 million for his one-scene role in Fantastic Beasts due to a pay-or-play deal. His spending once reached $2 million per month, including $3.6 million per year on staff, $30,000 per month on wine, $150,000 per month on bodyguards, and $200,000 a month on private jet usage. He invested heavily in real estate, over 14 lavish properties valued collectively around $75 to $100 million, including a chateau in France, a Kentucky horse farm, and multiple yacht and vehicle assets. Johnny founded Infinitum Nihil, 2004, producing films like The Rum Diary. The Dior Sauvage fragrance campaign brought in $3 to $5 million per year, considered one of the most lucrative in men's fragrance history, and was later extended to $20 million annually. In 2022, Depp sold $4 million worth of artwork, 780 prints that sold out within hours. Legal battles in the late 2010s and early 2020s include a high-profile lawsuit against his business manager, revealed massive debt and financial instability, despite having earned hundreds of millions. In 2022, Depp won a $15 million defamation verdict against Amber Heard, reduced to $10.35 million by statutory limits, offering a financial reprieve. Sandra Bullock's bank account? Prepare to be surprised. Most reliable sources put Sandra Bullock's net worth in 2025 at about $250 million. Bullock has earned large sums up front in many major films. For example, The Lost City reportedly paid her about $20 million for starring and some production credit. In some films like Gravity, she got not just a fixed salary, but also a cut of box office profits. These deals increase her earnings significantly when films do well. She owns her own production company, Fortis Films, which means she also earns from projects she produces, not just acts in. She owns a number of properties across the U.S., California, New York, and Texas. The real estate portion of her holdings is often estimated around $80 million or more. Some specific homes cited a Beverly Hills mansion valued at tens of millions, oceanfront property in Malibu, a townhouse in Manhattan, etc. She was reportedly among the highest-paid actresses in 2025, earning around $75 million between mid-2024 and 2025, though that figure may include projected profit shares, residuals, etc. Media mass, with steady projects and production work, she continues to generate income. Believe me, this is the amount Jack Nicholson has in his bank account. Most sources estimate his net worth at around $400 million as of 2025. Nicholson owns a large property portfolio, including his famous Mulholland Drive compound in Beverly Hills, properties in Malibu, Santa Monica, Hawaii, etc. The value of these estates is usually estimated at around $100 million or more. He has been collecting fine art since the 1960s. His art collection is valued around $150 million in many reports. His acting career over decades, 60-plus films, large salary contracts, including famous deals like Batman, 1989, As Good as It Gets, etc., and profit-sharing residuals contribute the rest of his net worth. There is no credible source that reports exactly how much cash Jack Nicholson has sitting in his bank accounts or how much is fully liquid, easily withdrawable, without selling property, art, or other investments. Things like liquidity, cash plus cash equivalents, versus non-liquid assets, real estate, art, unrealized royalties, back-end deals, etc., are not disclosed publicly. Any number quoted as bank balance is almost certainly an estimate or speculation, often based on assuming a certain percentage of total net worth is liquid, but this varies enormously. Most wealthy people don't keep giant fortunes as cash. Cash losing value, inflation, is risky and doesn't gain much return. So rich individuals generally hold wealth in investments, property, art, etc., not just cash. Emma Stone has this much cash in 2025. Emma's net worth is all her assets minus liabilities like property, investments, business interests, film salary, residuals, etc. It does not equal how much she has in her bank account right now. Public sources do not reliably disclose how much of her net worth is in liquid form, cash, or immediately usable assets. Her real estate plays a very big role of her wealth. Emma owned a large Texas estate in Austin, Terrytown, that she renovated and listed for $26.5 million in 2025. She also has properties in New York, Manhattan apartment, $12 million. Therefore, even if her net worth is $60 million, the cash she could immediately access, bank savings, liquid investments, is likely far less than that. Much is tied up in property, contracts, rights, etc. Emma Stone's net worth in 2025 is reasonably around $50 to $60 million based on several credible sources. If someone says this much cash, that would imply a large portion is liquid, but that is not supported by public data. It's almost certain her liquid cash is significantly smaller than her net worth figure. So the surprise usually comes from realizing that while she is very wealthy, the amount she has just sitting in cash or easily accessible assets is much lower than what many imagine when they hear her net worth. Chris Hemsworth's net worth is next-level crazy. His breakthrough as Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, significantly raised his income. He negotiates for higher pay each time, and for big ensemble box office hits, his compensation includes profit participation, bonuses when a movie does well. For Avengers, Endgame, and other major Marvel films, he reportedly got somewhere between $15 to $20 million for certain roles, plus bonus shares. He also earns from non-Marvel films like Extraction. Hemsworth has signed high-profile deals with brands like Tag Heuer, Hugo, Boss, etc. These can bring in significant seven-figure contracts, and his public image, action hero, fit, internationally recognized, helps these deals be more lucrative. He co-founded Center, a fitness subscription app, and it leverages his brand, fitness, health, and adds recurring income, subscriptions, which is generally more stable than film projects. This kind of business helps with wealth growth by generating non-film income. Hemsworth owns expansive properties. A few examples: his large mansion in Byron Bay, Australia, nicknamed Fortress Hemsworth, which is a luxury property, is valued quite high. Some estimates are $30 to $50 million, depending on the source and valuation. He also owned a Malibu home. Properties tend to appreciate over time, so they contribute significantly to his net worth. His net worth has steadily increased over recent years. The jump from earlier single digits in fame to commanding large salaries in blockbusters plus passive income is rapid. Not just big movies, but also apps, endorsements, and real estate, which give him multiple revenue streams. Many actors rely mostly on acting. Hemsworth has spread out his risk, and some of his major sources of money don't just come from set salary, but from back-end profits when films do very well. That magnifies his income from each hit. Ryan Reynolds' fortune is bigger than you imagined. At the box office, major motion pictures such as Deadpool and Deadpool 2 generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. In addition to the base salaries, Reynolds was also given a percentage of the profits on a few of them. He receives payment in the tens of millions of dollars for each of his later big-budget projects, in addition to bonuses and percentage of the profits. Sometime around 2018, Reynolds obtained a percentage of ownership. Aviation Gin was purchased by Diageo, a major multinational corporation that specializes in alcoholic beverages, in 2020. The acquisition was valued at as much as $610 million. According to certain reports, it is estimated that he made a total of $67 million in cash up front from that agreement, and that he has the potential to earn an additional $55 million over time, depending on his performance. Starting in 2019, he began investing in Mint Mobile, eventually acquiring a 25% ownership in the company. He made use of both equity and strong personal branding in order to increase the value of the company. Mint Mobile and its parent company were purchased by T-Mobile for a total of $1.35 billion in 2023. It is projected that Reynolds will receive approximately $300 million in cash and shares as a result of that agreement. Reynolds has made further investments, such as the purchase of Wrexham AFC, a Welsh football club, in partnership with Rob McElhenney. Despite the fact that the purchase price was relatively low at $2.5 million, The club's increasing popularity, merchandising efforts, and television program, Welcome to Wrexham, have contributed to its additional worth. Maximum Effort, the production firm that he owns, is another source of income for him, particularly through advertisements, content development, and deal negotiations. He has also made investments in technology companies such as Wealthsimple, Nuvi, and 1Password, among others. Thanks for watching Past Paradise, where Hollywood legends come home. If you enjoyed today's look into You Won't Believe Me, this is the amount Jack Nicholson has in his bank account, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Got a star or story you want next? Drop it in the comments. Until then, keep the nostalgia alive only on Past Paradise.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon